I realized too late the delivery wasn't a mistake when I saw my own name, handwritten in thick black marker on the paper receipt. The cabin address is a joke to most GPS apps. You can't even get cell service unless you stand on the back steps and lift your phone like you're praying to a satellite. That's why I order groceries maybe once a month, and only from the one service willing to come this far, if the weather's good and the driver feels brave. Yesterday, I hadn't ordered anything. The bags sat on the porch like they'd been there a while. 2 brown paper sacks, the bottoms slightly damp from melting snow. No knock, no text, no notification. Just the soft, papery hush of them shifting in the wind. I brought them inside because that's what you do out here. You don't leave food for animals. You don't leave anything. The cabin smelled like wood smoke and pine sap. I set the bags on the small kitchen table and took off my gloves. On top of the first bag was the receipt. No company logo, no barcode, just a list in blocky handwriting, each item underlined once, like it mattered. Milk, eggs, bread, then zip ties, heavy duty, then industrial bleach, then frame. My stomach did something small and mean. I reached in anyway because refusing to look doesn't change what's already there. I pushed aside the bread and pulled out a cardboard box. Heavy-duty zip ties. The plastic was a harsh, clean white, and the locking heads looked like tiny teeth. In the second bag, tucked between a gallon of milk and a polished apple, was a bottle with a red hazard diamond. Industrial bleach. The cap was taped shut with clear packing tape, and at the bottom, wrapped in bubble wrap, was a frame. The wrap crackled too loud in the quiet cabin. It felt like a sound that could travel through trees. Inside was a photo. Not a phone shot, a proper print, sharp and deep. It was me in my bed. My quilt was pulled to my chest, my mouth slightly open. The angle was high and close, like whoever took it had been standing right beside the mattress, leaning over me. The timestamp in the corner, 2:14 a.m. My throat went dry. I turned toward the bedroom. From where I stood, I could see a slice of shadow inside. Nothing moved. I told myself a story the way panic does. It's a prank, a mistake. But the receipt had my name, spelled with the extra letter only my mother uses. I grabbed my phone and ran to the back porch, seeking a signal. The cold snapped at my face. The trees were still. My phone searched and failed. I went back in and locked the front door, then locked it again. I remembered waking up at 2:17 a.m. for no reason last night, just staring into the dark, convinced I heard my name. I'd rolled over and fallen back asleep. 3 minutes after the timestamp. I moved through the cabin, checking windows. Kitchen, latched. Living room, latched. I reached the bedroom. The latch was down, but the wood around it had a fresh, pale scrape, like a thin tool had been slid in and twisted. Clean, polite. A scent drifted up from the sill, sharp and chemical. Bleach. I backed away, bumping into the dresser. On the table, the receipt fluttered. Under the list was a line I hadn't noticed. Delivered, 7:32 a.m./return, 9 a.m. Return. My eyes snapped to the window. A low rumble rolled through the ground. Not thunder. Diesel. A white, unmarked box truck was coming up the driveway, compressing the snow into hard grooves. It stopped right in front of my porch. The engine idled. The driver's door opened. A heavy boot hit the snow with a soft crunch. Whoever it was didn't rush. They walked like they had all day. I stepped back, clutching that framed photo like an idiot. The porch boards creaked. The front door handle moved once, gently. Then again, harder. I held my breath.
Then came a slow scrape, the same sound from the bedroom window, something thin sliding between the door and the frame. On the table, the receipt sat under the clock. 8:58 a.m. The scrape stopped. A small shift of weight followed. Then, through the wood of the door, so close it felt like it came from inside, I heard a voice. Not angry. Patient. Delivery confirmation, it said. My phone, lying useless on the table, lit up. A notification blinked on the dark screen. No app icon, just plain text. Return window open. The door handle turned again. This time, I heard the latch give a millimeter. I backed into the hallway, knife up, the photo pressed to my chest, and realized the one repeating word wasn't bleach or ties. It was delivery. Like I was the thing being picked up.
Thanks for sticking around until the end. If you found this a scary story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It really helps the channel out. See you guys next time.